Hello everybody, it's Molly with All Ears and I'm here today at Animal Kingdom with a brand new video. Now one of the most asked questions we get is how do you have the best day ever at the Disney parks? What's your best day ever at the Disney parks? How can I make sure I see and do all of the highlights and really get a feel for the park if I'm only there for one day? So that's what we're gonna do today at Animal Kingdom. I'm gonna be hitting all the highlights, sharing some tips and tricks along the way, maybe a few underrated things you hadn't thought to put on your list, some of my favorite eats, drinks, and help you map out your perfect day at Disney's Animal Kingdom. I hope you're ready, I hope you're excited. We gotta get going, we got a lot to do. A lot of people ask, what should I rope drop? What should I go to first? And you should definitely come into the park and go left and then keep walking. So a lot of people, when they first get here, go straight to Flight of Passage, which makes sense. It's the most popular ride in the park. It's a good idea to head there first, but only if you get here really, really early. It's about 8:30 right now. The park opened half an hour ago and it already has a 45-minute line, whereas everything else in the park pretty much doesn't have a wait. So you're actually smarter at saving Flight of Passage than going on it first thing, and we are headed to Safari. There's a few reasons I like to do Safari first thing in the morning. First and foremost, it's cooler in the morning, so the animals are more likely to be more active than, say, at the middle of the day on a hot day, and it's gonna be a hot one today. Two, it's a really popular attraction, but because most people go to Flight of Passage and then come over to Africa, you can usually get on it without much of a wait first thing in the morning, versus later in the afternoon, you're gonna wait in a longer line. So I always say go to Safari first. Back when Tusker House was open, I would tell you to get an early breakfast reservation there and then pop right on Safari after, but Tusker House still hasn't reopened, so just save that in your pocket for when it does.
Stop right on there, have fun out there.
Okay, that was like the best safari ever. I told you first thing in the morning is awesome. First of all, I got my favorite row, which is the back, because it lets you kind of turn around and look a little more, but you can't request rows right now, so I just happened to get it. And second of all, I saw so many different animals, elephants, the baby giraffes got really close, and the lion was literally roaring, which is maybe the coolest thing I've ever seen on a safari. So early morning safari, definitely part of your best day ever. And if you have time, come again later, because it's always different, because you're always gonna see different animals and they're gonna be doing different things, but early morning, they're gonna be the most active. Wow, that was awesome. Now, we're gonna go do one of my favorite things that a lot of people walk right past. A lot of people just scoot right by and exit and go back out into Harambe, and they don't come on the Gorilla Falls Exploration Trail, which is one of my favorite things to do. Right now, it's actually a little bit under refurbishment, so they have you routed a different direction. This is not normal. Normally you would just go under this big sign, but we're gonna see how to do it today. The colobus monkeys are out. They're really cute, especially, and this one is Douglas, who if you watch the Animal Kingdom show on Disney Plus, you may have seen him. They're so cute. Look how like just spry they are. Wish I had that. I'm in line to look at the gorilla family, and what they've done, we're going the opposite way now because it's under refurbishment, but no matter when you come, they have these dots on the ground to encourage people from distancing, and they'll just encourage you to move along the dots with your party so everyone can get a good view, but everyone's also staying distance from one another. he's like, move, I have more snacks. Also on this trail, you may get to see some other animals, and we're really lucky today because the zebras are really close. They're not normally this close, but they are so cute. Hello, cutie patooties. And you've got more of them over here. Oh. We had a great day on the trail too. The zebras were really close. Got to see the gorillas and the monkeys. Yeah, I love the animal trails and I always recommend them. Not a lot of people do them, but you're at Animal Kingdom, so you should look at some animals. And they're a fun thing to do in between other attractions because you can kind of leisurely walk through and look at the animals, and kids can get a little more energy out. And if you've got Wilderness Explorers, which is that free activity that your kids or you can do all over the park, a lot of them are inside the animal trails. So it's definitely one of my most recommended underrated things at the Disney park. We're gonna do another one of my more underrated choices now. And I was deciding between this and a quick snack break, but there's no line right now for the train up to Rafiki's Planet Watch. So I think it's a good idea to go ahead and jump on the train. A lot of people don't think about coming up here until later in the day, so the line will get really long to get on the train. And if you've never been up to Rafiki's Planet Watch, there's actually a few really fun things to do. There is an animation experience where a Disney artist will teach you how to draw a Disney animal character, like somebody from The Lion King or The Jungle Book or Finding Nemo. And it's really fun, and that's a great relaxing activity that you can do. Definitely for older kids and adults. It's about 25-30 minutes. Really great. There's also some animal exhibits up here. You may see some animals getting worked on because they have a vet clinic up here. I've never seen it happen, so I think it's a ruse, but allegedly. If you've seen it happen, let me know. And then there's also the affection section where you can get up close and personal with some animals. So they added plexiglass dividers very recently to the train, which is why my line wasn't too long, which is great. I think that's definitely going to lower your wait times because it increases capacity on the train. What does take a little bit longer though than maybe you're used to is the loading, because they have to give everybody their own dot and then load group by group so that everyone's distanced and safely boarding the train. So just be patient with the cast members. They're getting you on there as quick as possible, and then you can come to Rafiki's Planet Watch. Inside here is where you've got your animation experience. You can check the times in the My Disney Experience app, and they're right here. If you do want to do the class, I recommend getting on the train at least 30 minutes early, if not a little bit earlier, so you can make sure to get up here and get situated for the class. The next class is going to draw Crush and Squirt, it looks like. It's about 10:09 right now. The next class isn't until 10:45, so I'm not going to do the animation class today, but I do love it and recommend it. It does take about 30 minutes plus the time to get up here and back on the train, so you should carve out at least probably an hour, if not more, depending on the time of the train to do that activity. So if that's not something that you want to do, maybe it's when you skip, but if you've been here a lot before, you're having a more leisurely day, you don't want to do some of the other bigger thrill rides, definitely a fun activity. Oh my gosh, oh my gosh, oh my gosh. They're actually doing veterinary care. This has never happened in my entire life. I thought it was an elaborate lie. I thought this was an elaborate set piece set up by Disney that told me vets did things here, but they actually are. So they're actually doing a CT on this sheep right here, and then on these screens you can see what the doctors are seeing the results of the CT. Okay, so all my talk about how the vet area is just an elaborate ruse and a set piece is clearly a lie. Obviously I was joking, but I just literally have been up here dozens of times and never seen them do anything. And today I got to see them do something, but now I'm sad because it was on a 13-year-old sheep named Clover. She was one of the ones out here in the affection section, and she was demonstrating seizure symptoms and had a high fever, so they had to do a CT because they're trying to see if she has any tumors or what's going on and causing these symptoms. So 13 is like being in your 80s, they said, for a sheep, so she's very old. Let's all put out good vibes for Clover so that they can figure out what's wrong and that she gets better. But it was actually really cool to see the vets actually working on an animal up here. Now that we've been inside, it's time to do my favorite thing.
Hi, hands all over to the side, please.
Yes, please. All right, so you get your hand, Sanny, and then we can go into the affection section. The affection section is a petting zoo area here with domesticated animals like goats and sheep that you can literally pet, and it's one of my favorite things. You also might see some llamas, pigs, cow, donkeys, all kinds of creatures up here. And oh my gosh, look at this pig. We're gonna go pet this pig right now. Hello! Oh my gosh, I don't want to disturb your nap, but I feel like you're probably like a dog and you'd like some scritchy scratchies. Hello. Oh my gosh, I love you. Oh, that feels good? Yeah. You want some belly scritchy scratchies? I just learned this beautiful creature's name is Dottie Bell, and I love her so much, and I'm just gonna hang out with her for the rest of the day because this is the best day ever. Hi, sweet girl. Bueller. Hi, buddy. Hi. Bueller's my buddy from some other videos, and I know that he loves his scritchy scratchies right behind his ear. He's such a handsome fella, aren't you, Bueller? Oh, yeah. Oh, we're leaning into it. Yes, Bueller. I'm happy to give you scritchy scratchies as much as you want. Oh, we need the other side too? We need lots of scratchies? Oh, yeah. Molly and Bueller. Tag team cop show. Are we going to have our cop show? Our buddy cop show where we fight crime together? Molly and the goat. Chatting with these lovely cast members. Here's the other pig. This is the sister, Charlotte May. And what's actually really interesting, I just found out, is that when they were doing Moana, the animators came out here to get inspiration from the real life animals. And this sweet girl, her coloring inspired Pua. Isn't that fun? But not only that, they came out when they were doing Zootopia, and they watched and observed and modeled a lot of the characters from Zootopia, like the sheep, after these actual sheep. So I knew they had done that for the Lion King, the new Lion King. I knew they had modeled some of the lions and the hyenas after the ones on the safari, but I didn't realize that these guys served for inspiration behind other Disney movies too. Another thing you may catch while you're up here is an animal demonstration or a little animal class where the animal keepers will teach you about keeping the animals here and different things about animals. So they're doing one right now with some of these beautiful birds. I'm keeping a safe distance because you guys know I don't love birds, but I have to say this blue one is gorgeous. I'm not saying to prioritize this over safaris, Flight of Passage, Dinosaur, Everest, like the big attractions. But if you have time, if you're doing a full day here, if you've been here before, if you've got younger kids who can't do some of those thrill rides, this is a great spot. Even with the increased capacity, you can see how long the line to get on the train is, around 11. So if that's something you want to do, definitely recommend getting on it early. So far I've had a lovely morning in Africa, and we are headed on to another adventure. It's time for a relaxing break. You know that means we're getting a coffee. I'm gonna head to my favorite spot to drink it. Now a lot of people like to get their coffee first thing in the morning, and I get it. I also enjoy my coffee, but I like to take my longer coffee break in the mid-morning. I like to ride things right away because you can beat some people to lines for safari, or if you're a really early Flight of Passage, but we're gonna do that later. Hopefully not way too long. So I like to take my first break kind of in the mid-morning, have a little something at home or your hotel room, a granola bar, a piece of fruit or something like that. I don't need to do a big breakfast usually, and then I like to eat, or have my first break mid-morning. If you haven't been inside any of the Disney Starbucks since the parks reopened, you'll notice that they have these green dots now, and that's where you wait to pick up your coffee. They'll call your name. They may have you scoot down so that you're always at the next dot, and they'll call your name when it's your turn, and you've got a delicious coffee treat. I got my giant coffee and my water, and we're now gonna go to my favorite coffee drinking spot, quite possibly in all of Disney World. This is the Discovery Island Trail. It is probably the least walked trail in all of Animal Kingdom. It's right here on the river, so the character boats will actually fly or float right by. You've got this gorgeous view of the Tree of Life and the waterfall, and there's usually little to no people back here. People normally just kind of walk on through here in the really early No one will be back here, and this is my favorite place in the world to sip my coffee. Is there a more beautiful place to have a small cup of coffee? Also, best day ever continues because they have pumpkin still. So this is nice coffee, 2 pumps of pumpkin, splash of cream, no extra sugar, no other sugar, no classic. And don't forget, it's hot, especially in this park. This is always the hottest park. Get your free water while you're at Starbucks. Yeah, get yourself a coffee in the mornings and come back here. Look, there's literally no one back here. It's awesome. It's gorgeous. And also take really good selfies back here. If you, with the Tree of Life, you can take a really good selfie. Hi, Donald! Hi, Launchpad! Hi, Daisy! Hi, Mickey! Hi, Mickey! Thank you! You're so cute! They're so cute! I love their safari outfits! Now I'm gonna continue through the rest of the trail because I love looking at the Tree of Life. It's one of my other favorite little things to do at Animal Kingdom because I notice new animals basically every time I look at it for a while. And you can get really good views of the trail, or of the tree on this trail. You can get great views of the tree in the queue for its stuff to be a bug. Like, look at this little guy. There's a little beaver right here. Hi, little friend. An owl, a bat, a meerkat, a lion, a snail. Walk around the tree at some point, take a stroll through the trail, and just look at how incredible the detail is on this thing. A little pro photo tip, if you can have someone go stand in that little cubby area, and you come stand on this bridge right here with the waterfall and the tree behind you, it takes an incredible photo. Yeah. This is one of my best secret photo spots in Animal Kingdom because you can get a great photo of you with the Tree of Life without many people on it. We can show you one right here. That is a pre-closure photo because I was able to have a cast member take it for me. Cast members can't take your phones right now, but you could have someone else take it for you, and it's a great photo. I just checked the My Disney experience for the wait times because at this time I was either going to go Asia or Dinoland. Expedition Everest, one of my favorites ever. It's a really good one to do when it gets a little busier. The peak busy times for this park are going to be like mid-morning to mid-afternoon when people can park hop again, because this is the park that opens the earliest, so a lot of people are going to come here first and then park hop somewhere else. So Everest is a good one to do before people park hop because the line's not usually that long. But we're going to take a little detour on the way there. Kali River Rapids is currently closed for refurbishment, which is pretty normal. A lot of times the water rides will close for refurbishment during the winter months when they're not as popular anyway, just to be touched up and things. But if you wanted to ride Kali River Rapids, now would be a good time. You know, it's not my favorite because of how wet you get, so not part of my perfect day in Animal Kingdom. But that's a good one to check the wait times on throughout the day, and I would aim to ride it early afternoon. But now we're gonna divert down the Maharajah Jungle Trek, which is the other main walking trail. This is the one in Asia. Hello! And similar to Gorilla Falls. And there are really cool animals on this one. It's warmer now, so I don't know how many we're gonna see, but we're gonna try. First up, there's this gigantic dinosaur, basically. No, it's a Komodo dragon, but basically a dinosaur. There's something about oh, hello. I wasn't gonna say anything bad about you. I was gonna say how beautiful you are. I was just told that he weighs 80 pounds and is 8 feet long, but that's considered small for a Komodo dragon because they can get up to 10 feet long and 150 pounds. And there's debate right now whether their spit is venom or bacteria, but all they do know is that it's toxic because it stops your blood from clotting. So there's that. During quarantine, I watched every single episode of the show on Discovery Channel called Fatal Attractions, and it was a show where people have inappropriate pets, and then it always ends badly, and a lot of them had these as pets. So, PSA, do not get a Komodo dragon as a pet, because I've seen the dramatic reenactments, and it's not good. Whenever you do come on the animal trails, make sure you talk to the cast members that are with all the different animals, because they're such a good resource. They know everything about these animals. They work with them every day. And it's really fun and interesting to learn about where the animals come from, how they train the animals, what their names are, how big they are, all these fun things. So I encourage you to chat with the cast members while you're on the trails. You can bypass this next section if you want, or you can go check out the bats, but some people don't like bats. I think they're kind of interesting. And they're up there hanging. I don't know, just the fact that they're mammals that can fly is really cool to me. And their faces are kind of cute. A cool thing about the bats is that these are actually open. These are like not glass or anything, and that's because their wingspan can't fit, because bats can't fly up and down, they can only fly horizontally. So they can just have this open so you can see the bats, and they don't need to add any glass or anything. The next animal on the trail is my favorite one on this trail, and it's a tiger. Since it's warmer out, I don't know if we're gonna see any of them. We see this pretty, I think this one's a boy. Laying down, not taking a nap, but he's there, not too active right now. Oh, you can definitely see him a little better from this angle. Such a pretty animal. I also like to check in on these Cape buffalo here. The bigger ones are named Rose, Dorothy, and Blanche, which are scientifically proven to be the best names for buffalo. And then they actually just got these younger ones that are smaller. They're less than a year old. Those were just introduced to the herd not too long ago. So even though I've been on these trails a bunch of times, you never know what you're gonna see. You can see new animals. They're always getting new animals. Oh my gosh, oh my gosh, oh my gosh. Look who is out. Hello. Aren't you beautiful? We are having the best luck with the animals today. The tiger was much more active than I expected during this time of day. Normally they're just sleeping, and oftentimes you can't even see them when it's this hot out because they're in somewhere temperature controlled. Got to see the bats and the monkeys and that scary Komodo dragon. So yeah, it was a really good animal trail. We are having great luck with the animals. And now it is time to conquer Everest, which is great because the wait has dropped even further. It's only a 5-minute wait now, which is a walk-on. In general, Animal Kingdom's the least crowded park right now, even on the weekends, even on holidays. So if you are coming over a weekend, I would recommend planning Animal Kingdom on a weekend day because even though it'll be busier than now, this is a Thursday, it will be likely less busy than the other parks on the weekends. Epcot, most notably to me, is the busiest on the weekends because a lot of the locals come out for the festivals. So if you're planning your trip and trying to figure out what day to go where, I would put Animal Kingdom on a weekend because it will likely be the least crowded on the weekend, and there's not as much to do at Animal Kingdom as there are at the other parks, especially without entertainment right now. So even if you have to wait in a little bit longer lines for Expedition Everest or safaris or something like that, there's still not as many things to try and check off, so you have a little bit more time to spare. I just adore that attraction. Definitely a must-do on my list. Such a great coaster. It's dark, it's scary, it's loud, it goes backwards. It's got story to it. It's fabulous. And if you're a coaster fan, I absolutely insist. And now we're gonna take a really cool picture. Not too long ago, they introduced a super zoom shot right here in Animal Kingdom. You may have seen the super zoom shots at Magic Kingdom before, in the Castle Hub area, or at Hollywood Studios in Galaxy's Edge. But now there's one in Animal Kingdom. It debuted just a couple months ago, and it makes for a really cool photo. So we're gonna go ahead and grab one. Just come with a friendly cast member. We'll let you into the special spot, and they'll tell you where to look and where to pose, and you'll have a really good keeper. I think the super zoom shots are so cool, and they're gonna show up in your My Disney Experience account just like any other photo that you take, and you're gonna get a zoomed out still photo, which is really cool because you get the whole background, and then you're gonna get a closer up photo, and then you're gonna get the actual video, and it's all included if you have a photo pass on your annual pass, or if you purchase Memory Maker, it's all included. So make sure if you pay for Memory Maker, or you have it because of your annual pass, make sure you're taking advantage of it and getting a bunch of pictures, and the super zoom ones are the coolest ones you can do. I've said it before, and I'll say it again, and I'll say it a million times forever. We do not deserve cast members. Somebody made a Mickey and a Minnie out of the fallen flower petals right here, and I assume it was someone in custodial, and it's so sweet and so special, and cast members are national treasures, and they're the best ever, and I love them.
Wash your hands.
Our next stop on this adventure, Dinoland USA. Because there's a couple things I want to do in Dinoland. Obviously, I want to ride Dinosaur, a fabulous attraction. I also want to get a snack because my favorite sweet treat is here in Dinoland. So I just checked the wait times, and Dinosaur is a 30-minute wait. For the record, so does Safari's, so does Flight of Passage. Navi River Journey has a 40-minute wait. It's just about 1 o'clock right now. So those aren't too bad at all, but I have a feeling Dinosaur is going to drop even more soon because people will be able to start park hopping at 2 o'clock. So I think snack first, ride second. We have arrived at the location of my favorite sweet treat in Animal Kingdom, Dino Bite Snacks. It's right here near Restaurantosaurus. And the thing I love here is the ice cream cookie sandwich. So they always have a seasonal one. It's February, so it's Valentine's themed. And then you can also always get just the classic one, which is chocolate chip cookies, and then your choice of ice cream. It says vanilla, but if you ask nicely, they'll swap out for the other flavors, and I always like to get strawberry, so that's what we're gonna get. Yes, we're having dessert first. It's Disney World, live your dream, do whatever you want. So this is the Valentine's one, but I asked them if they could do chocolate chip cookies instead of the double chocolate chip cookies, because I prefer a classic choc chip. And they were like, absolutely, we'll even roll it in sprinkles for you. So just be nice to cast members. You can kind of mix and match. Usually, again, they have a seasonal. My personal favorite is the strawberry shortcake, where it's sugar cookies, strawberry ice cream, and then it's rolled in cake crumbs, so it's like a strawberry shortcake. At the Christmas time, they'll do a peppermint one. Last year, they did a pumpkin spice one in the fall. That one was fabulous. So I absolutely love these ice cream sandwiches. It's perfect snack. The sprinkles add a nice crunch. The normal one doesn't have sprinkles. Simple is usually better, in my opinion, when it comes to dessert. So we've got 2 delicious chocolate chip cookies that somehow are still mushy, but hold up to the ice cream. And then you've got strawberry ice cream, which is my favorite. But again, you can do vanilla, you can do chocolate. And then because they rolled it in the sprinkles, added a nice little crunch. It's messy, there's no nice way to do it, but it's a big one. You could definitely share it. It's not gonna be messy, but you can share it because it's big. Animal Kingdom has new trash cans, which I love. There's a trash one, a recycling, and then a compost, because you can actually stick in your plates and your cups from this area because they are organic. So, isn't that fun? Let's save the earth. Time to ride Dinosaur. Hello. Would you say 35 is accurate? Yeah? Okay, thank you. Which isn't too bad. This attraction has limited capacity. They're not loading the vehicles as much as they could. So it usually hovers between 25. That's the lowest I've seen it today, except for first thing this morning. And then it can get upwards of over an hour. This is one that if you see it under half an hour and it's in your plans for the day, I think you should go ahead and jump on it. It's been 14 minutes and I'm already at the loading platform, so 35 minutes, definitely an overestimate. I would guess that it often is at this ride. It moves pretty quickly despite the limited capacity, but like I said, if you see it under 30 minutes, that's a good time to come try and jump on this one.
Travel commencing in T-minus 10 seconds and counting.
This is Seeker. Listen up. We've got to get in, grab the iguanodon, and get out before that asteroid hits. Let's roll.
Dinosaur. Raptor.
Time to get serious. Locking autopilot on homing signal now. Hang on. Computer, full stop. Identify.
Carnotaurus.
Definitely not our dino. Go, go, go! Aboard! Aboard!
Iguanodon.
Forget it! Get them out now!
Thank you.
They're not gonna make it! They're not gonna make it!
Mission accomplished.
You made it!
We made it. I love Dinosaur. I have fun every time I ride it. There's a 40-inch height requirement, which is lower than other attractions in the park, but it's definitely scarier than a lot of attractions that have a 40-inch height requirement. So even though your kids may be able to ride it, they may get scared because it's really loud, it's really dark, and you know, there's giant dinosaurs trying to eat them. In fact, when I was in line, this little kid was freaking out, and the dad's like, "It's not scary, stop crying." And I was like, definitely a little bit of an underrated thrill ride, I think, but a must-do for me. And like I said, it was only about a 15-minute wait, definitely not a 35-minute wait. So, but I think right now, anything under 30 minutes is a good wait time for this one. All right, we've checked off Dinoland USA. And now I'm kind of waiting for the park to get even quieter. It's really quiet right now. Navi River Journey is the longest line in the park, around 40 minutes. That's pretty typical right now, just because of how few people they can put in those boats. They can only put one party a boat, so it has a low capacity. And then Flight of Passage only has about a 35-minute wait. I just checked in the app. So those are really low wait times, but I'm gonna go relax again, because this park to me is the one where you need to like relax and take in the beauty. So we're gonna go to my favorite spot to relax in the park. On our way there though, we're gonna pop in to Discovery Trading Co., which is the biggest merchandise shop here. Hello. Hi. And see if we see anything, because you know, I think popping into a Disney merchandise shop is part of a best day. Oh my gosh, look at them with their little coffees. If you haven't seen these yet, they're called Numos. I keep wanting to call them Numios, but that's wrong. They're from Japan, and they're these little characters. There's Mickey and Minnie and Stitch and Angel and Donald and Daisy, and then you can buy little clothes and accessories from them and pose them, and they're very adorable, but I cannot buy one because I will then spend way too much money on clothes for a stuffed animal. Since we're having such a good day, maybe today will be my lucky day with the Wishables. If you don't know what Wishables are, they are a marketing genius strategy by Disney, where there's different collections, like this is the Small World collection, and you don't know what you're gonna get, obviously. You could get any one of these, or there's a surprise one called the Chaser that's not on here, and I know for a fact, because I've seen the collection online, it's the drunk winking hippo from Small World that I'm obsessed with. And then there's also one that's just like out and you can buy it and see what it is. So it's the kangaroo. They've also recently done a teacups collection. They did a Disney transportation vehicles collection. They did an Aladdin collection that part of the proceeds went to Make-A-Wish. So that's the only Wishable I've ever bought in my life, is I bought one of the Aladdin ones because I wanted the proceeds to go to Make-A-Wish. But I feel like maybe we could get lucky. And what everybody does and what it says to do is squeeze me because you kind of have to like feel them to see if you can guess what shape it's going to be. So I'm going to try and feel for a hippo and hope it's the right color. Okay, I'm buying 2. These feel like hippos. And if neither one is the one I want, then my nephews are going to each get a present. If one of them is the one I want, then I guess I'm going to have to pick a favorite. Just kidding, I'll buy another one for the other one, don't stress. But let's see if we can get lucky today. We got our wishables. I'm gonna go try and open it in a second. But whenever I buy anything at Animal Kingdom, I like to donate a couple dollars to the conservation fund, and then you get a button. And the conservation fund has donated over $100 million since they started to different animal causes around the world. They've helped save gorillas and giraffes and lions and all kinds of creatures. And you can be a conservation hero at any merchandise shop. Just ask them to donate anything from $1 to as much as you want. Disney matches every donation. So it's just something nice that you can do to help give back to the beautiful animals. Wishables number 1. Oh my gosh. Oh my gosh. It's the best day ever. It's the winking hippo. I'm so happy right now. I'm thrilled. Oh my goodness. This truly is the best day ever. Let's see what we got here. And I have to go buy another one now because, you know. Oh, we got the regular hippo. He's so cute too. Well, I gotta go get another one because it would be very rude to send one nephew a wishable and not the other one. But guys, this is truly the greatest moment ever. I've never wanted a wishable in my life. And this is making me so happy. First things first, this is my favorite selfie wall in Disney. So snap one there on your way to my relaxation place. I'm sure you knew where I was going if you've watched the channel before. This is one of my favorite spots to kick back and relax in all of Walt Disney World. Perfectly placed on our way to Pandora, which we're gonna hit up in just a little bit. But first, we're gonna relax at the Nomad Lounge. I went ahead and added myself to the walk-up list here at the Nomad Lounge. Now it's not a very busy day, so it was only a 5-minute wait. You can add yourself through the app at any time and it'll let you know the estimated wait. It will give you a text message when it's your turn to come back. Or a push notification, or both, whatever you choose. On really busy days, I would do this as soon as possible because the wait list can fill up. But luckily today's not super busy and it's after 2 o'clock, so a lot of people have park hopped to another park. You can fill out if you want to sit first available, indoor, outdoor, what you prefer. If you've got any allergies, wheelchairs, are you celebrating anything, you can fill all that out as you're joining the walk-up list, and then you'll get a text, which I just got as I was talking. Even though it's warm, I requested an outdoor table, and you're about to see why. This is one of the best things about having a beverage or a light bite at Nomad Lounge right now. I got the Tempting Tigress, which is my favorite cocktail here. It's their version of an old-fashioned. It's not sweet. I also really like their sangria here because they make it with South African rosé as opposed to like a box. So it's really good, really fresh. Not super sweet, and I love all their cocktails here. They're really fun, they're unique. There's also like a watermelon margarita that's called the Hightower Rocks. There's a Lamu Lamu, which is a little sweet for my taste, but they have great cocktails here. And look, Chip and Dale are going by. Like, is there a better way to spend an afternoon? I don't think so. So cheers to the Nomad Lounge. Hopped in quick just to show y'all what the inside looks like. I like to sit outside because I love feeling like I'm in the jungle and waving at the characters. But if you do sit inside, you've got these cozy chairs that are really nice. And what's fun is this is all about travel and adventure. So if you read the flags up here as well as the trim around the room, it asks you questions like, why do you travel? What's your favorite adventure story? What's the most memorable food you've ever had on a trip? And it really encourages you to discuss your travel memories. And these up here, these little cards, are actually all travel memories from some of the first guests that came to the Nomad Lounge until they filled up all the boards and the ceiling. And I actually have one of them because my husband and some of our friends came one of the very first days it was open. So we got to fill these cards out with our favorite travel memories. Now we are headed back to Africa, and you're probably like, Molly, it's there's less than an hour and a half of park time. We haven't been to Pandora yet. What are you doing? But I have a plan. Don't worry. So if you want to ride every single ride in the park at this point in time. I think you definitely could at Animal Kingdom, but if you want to have a more relaxing, leisurely day and enjoy some delicious snacks and check out the animals and everything like that, you may have to make some choices. And for me, I just made a choice. I could go to Pandora and I could ride Flight of Passage and Navi River Journey and I could have dinner. Or I could come to Safaris, which is my favorite attraction here, ride it again because the hyenas come out at night and they're my favorite animal, and then go to Pandora and have dinner and ride Flight of Passage, but not ride Navi River Journey. So for me, 2 safaris greater than Navi River Journey.
You're back again.
I'm back. I want to see the hyenas. My best advice to you is make a list of your must-dos. Your must-do rides, your must-do snacks, your must-do everything. Get those done, and then anything else you get to do is just extra. So for some people, going up to Rafiki's Planet Watch, not going to be on their list of things they need to do. As long as you can just make a list, plan your day, you'll have a great day. But I promise, we're going to ride Flight of Passage. Don't fret. Another great safari. Now the reason I like to go on the late afternoon ones is twofold. One, the hyenas rotate out with the Australian wild dogs, and hyenas are one of my favorite animals. So you can only see them if you go like 3 p.m. or later-ish. 2, the animals know they're gonna get fed soon, so a lot of them can be really active, and again, it's less hot than the middle of the day, so they're likely to be more active than if you go right in the middle of the day. And we definitely saw that with the giraffes. We literally got stuck in a giraffic jam where we couldn't move for a while because our truck was surrounded by giraffes, because they all know they're getting fed soon, so they all kind of start heading towards the gate where they go out. So it took a little bit longer than a normal safari, which is a great reminder that you can never count on the safari being 22 minutes. It could be longer if an animal gets in your way, because the drivers obviously can't like scoot the animal along. They just have to wait for it to move. Totally worth it. I feel like that scene in Ace Ventura: Pet Detective where he's like, "Come to me, jungle friends," and all the animals come, because we've had such good luck with the animals today. We got to see a bunch of rhinos really close just now. The lions were out again. Warthogs were out. Everybody was out. The monkeys. Wow. But now we are headed to our last stop of the day, Pandora. I would like it on the record that the real perfect day in Animal Kingdom, best day ever in Animal Kingdom, also includes at least one viewing of Festival of the Lion King, which is my favorite show in Disney. It's maybe my favorite thing in Disney, which it's not open right now, but Disney did recently announce that it will be coming back this summer in a modified form, and you know I will be here, ready to cry my eyeballs out when that day comes. So if you're coming once that's open, you 1000% need to plan a viewing of Festival of the Lion King. It's so amazing. But a lot of people don't realize this trail exists. You can actually walk straight from Africa to Pandora, and it's on kind of this back trail that I also enjoy because it's on the river. And remember, that's how you can see characters here right now. So anytime you can be close to water, the chances that you see Timon and Rafiki, or Mickey and Minnie and Pluto, or Chip and Dale and Goofy, Pocahontas and Miko, the drummers, Donald Daisy Launchpad. Anytime you're near the water, that could happen. So I really like this path because it's really beautiful and scenic. It's also wide on the water. The first thing we're gonna do in Pandora is get ourselves a snack. I had mobile ordered myself my favorite savory meal, snack, and Animal Kingdom cheeseburger pods from Satu'li Canteen a while ago. And then when I realized the safari was taking a little bit longer than normal because of the giraffes, I went in and changed my arrival time, which is one thing I actually love about the mobile order. Okay, first of all, these bugs are very loud. Y'all need to calm down. But one thing I love about mobile order is you don't have to do it just for right then. If you know what time you want to eat, you can walk in and make it for dinner time if you want. So, and then if you think, oh, that's too late or that's too early, you can modify it. So during busy days, I recommend doing it as soon as you can, so that way you guarantee that you get the time slot you want. Because if too many people have a time slot, it won't be available. And you don't want it to be noon and you're hungry and you can't get a time slot till 1 or 2 in the afternoon. So I mobile ordered my cheeseburger pods from Satu'li Canteen. I modified my arrival time, which I'm still in that window. And that's the first thing we're gonna do now that we're in Pandora, is get our food. Mobile order, highly encouraged. They do have a cash register open at the restaurants that have mobile order, but it's reserved for people that want to pay cash or have allergies and need to talk to the cast members. If you're paying with a card, if you're gonna do anything else, you wanted to use that mobile order. And ooh, it looks like my order's ready right here. And I gotta do my secret, which is ask them for the herb dressing. I have my delicious cheeseburger pods. If you've never watched before, this is one of my favorite meals in all of Disney. They're these bao buns, and inside's basically a McDonald's cheeseburger. It's ground beef, cheese, pickles, and then it comes with your side of chips or slaw. I want chips. This is the adult portion. The kids portion, which I get a lot, is just one and a side and a little water bottle, so that's a great option if you're not super hungry. But my pro tip is to always ask for the creamy herb dressing, which is one of the dressings you can get on the customizable bowls here, because you're gonna want that for your cheeseburger pod. I'm so happy. They're so good. Look at that. You want that. And then dip your little thing in there. It's so delicious. This is definitely my favorite quick service here. One of my favorite quick services in any park. But if cheeseburger pods don't sound good to you, or your kids, I know it probably is a little harder to get kids to eat this. A lot of people love Flame Tree Barbecue, which is another great quick service spot. If you want something a little more basic, you could go Restaurantosaurus. If you want Americanized Chinese food, you can go Yak and Yeti. But my top recommendations for quick service in this park, definitely Satu'li Canteen #1, and then Flame Tree Barbecue #2, because I just love these babies. The time, 4:55. The wait for flight of passage, 15 minutes. Now you can always get into a queue right up until the park closes. You are welcome to get into the queue 99% of the time. I confirmed before I made this little crazy plan. I have heard sometimes at Mickey and Minnie's Runaway Railway at Hollywood Studios, they aren't always able to do this, but typically you can get into a queue up until the minute before the park closes, and as long as you're in line, you can ride no matter what the wait time is. So 15-minute wait, we saved flight of passage for last, and let's go fly. All right, let's go on this adventure together. Hello. Flight of Passage is a lot of people's favorite attraction to Walt Disney World, and while it's not mine, I can't fault them for thinking that way. It has a 44-inch height requirement, and it is a simulator attraction, but it's a simulator like no other you've ever been on. You are going to fly on the back of a banshee, like in the movie Avatar. But even if you've never seen Avatar, it doesn't matter, because this attraction's pretty incredible. One thing I will say, it does have an interesting seat configuration. It's like getting on a motorcycle, so if you feel like that's going to be uncomfortable, there is a test seat outside the attraction that I highly recommend you sit on to make sure that you're going to be comfortable in the seat before you wait in line, and then you're not feeling it. But also, look at this view. The floating mountains will never cease to amaze me. Passage, check, with minutes to spare. Many would say I saved the best for last. And they wouldn't be wrong. That is a phenomenal attraction. Technologically, the most advanced attraction besides Rise of the Resistance in Disney World. Like I said, it's like a simulator like you've never been on before. It really feels like it's breathing between you and you can feel it walking and things like that. So absolutely a must do. But again, if you can wait till later, you probably won't have to wait long at all. But you should do it no matter what. Well friends, that is a wrap on my perfect day in Animal Kingdom video. And if you ask me, we pretty much did have a perfect day here as far as I can tell. We got to see so many different animals. I mean, the lions were roaring. We got that great tiger interaction. We got to see an animal having a procedure done up at the vet clinic. We got to hug a goat. We saw the rhinos, the giraffes, so many different animals. Also, I got the Wishable I was hoping for. That was just good luck. Got to ride all of the big attractions in the park. So much fun. Also, a few of my favorite eats, drinks, and treats in all of Walt Disney World. So I hope you had fun following along on this best day ever at Animal Kingdom. I hope you learned some tips and tricks for when you come to this park, how to navigate it, and how to get the best day out of your Animal Kingdom time. What Animal Kingdom questions do you have? Leave them in the comments. What's your favorite thing in this park? Leave that in the comments too. I hope you had fun following along. In the meantime, friends, just make sure to rate, review, subscribe to our channel, follow us on social media at AllEars.net. And until next time, y'all, I'm Molly, and it's been magical and wild. I had to. Want to see more of my videos? Click over here. Want to subscribe? You can do that right here. And also, ring that notification bell to make sure you get instantly notified anytime we post a new video. Thanks for following. See you real soon.